There is a blessing in every suffering. As human beings, we tend to gravitate towards blessing and success, and we tend to resist suffering. But the key to remember here is that there's a hidden blessing in every suffering. Let's take the case of Joseph. His brothers dumped him in a well. Long story short, from that point on, for Joseph, it was one setback after another, one trial after another, and he becomes a victim wherever he goes, until he becomes the governor and then the king of Egypt. Now, a lot of us can resonate with the story of Joseph. But the key to remember here is that with every setback, he was only getting closer to his destination. If you observe his life carefully, you will see that every setback was preparing him for a major comeback. Now, let's take the case of a diamond. Before it can turn into a beautiful piece of jewelry, it has to go through a purification process. Or let's take the case of a flight. Before it can surge ahead, the wings have to hold the air down. Likewise, in our own lives, in order for us to surge ahead, we have to be able to overcome obstacles and challenges. Or let's take the case of a software product. While the product is still being developed, it has to go through a trial and error period, during which the software engineer tries different approaches to develop the solution. He may try one approach, and if that doesn't work, he may try another. And perhaps that may also not work. But he keeps trying until he finds a solution. And what happens is, it is during this time that he learns what works and what doesn't work. Likewise, in our own lives too, it is when we go through trials, we develop the strength of character and we build tenacity, patience, and perseverance, all of which are essential to take us where we are going, and most importantly, to sustain us when we get there. Now, there's also a psychological and physiological aspect to this. When we are faced with a difficult situation, and when we perceive the situation to be a threat, our body takes on a flight or fight approach. But we know that neither of those approaches are going to help us, because we cannot run away from the suffering. Our only option is to go through it. When we perceive the situation to be a threat, our brain starts releasing stress-related hormones and chemicals. And now our body starts responding to those chemicals by being angry, anxious, and frustrated, which will result in poor choices leading to poor behaviors and thus creating a negative outcome. On the other hand, if we perceive the situation to be an opportunity, our brain begins to sense positive vibrations, and then our body becomes more calm and relaxed, leading to positive behaviors and thus creating a positive result. So the key takeaway here is, there is a hidden blessing in every suffering, and the blessing will unfold and manifest itself in the long run. So it all boils down to our perspective, and our perspective, or the right perspective, will make the suffering easier on us. Thanks for watching. This is an excerpt from my book, It's About the Perspective.